All righty, everybody. We are back here live on stogie411. And as you can see, there is no hippie. So the hippie's on vacation. He's going to try to join us today. So as for right now, it's going to be yours truly. And today we have on the show Mr. David Jones. And we're going to talk everything about Chattanooga Tweet Up. We're going to talk about Leaf enthusiasts and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, how's it going, David?
Doing real well. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no, the pleasure's all ours. I'm glad you could be here. Hopefully, the hippie will be joining us soon so we can have a little more laughter than what we've already had. So.
Well, yeah. Well, and I want to see if he's, if he's cut his hair yet.
No, that's his power. He's never cutting that hair. That's where the power comes from.
Well, I think he may need to try something else then.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody for joining us in the chat. And as always, if you have any questions for Dave, please feel free to ask them in the chat room and we'll get to them. Dave is also in the chat room to answer your questions. So, Dave, let's kick it off. So we're here. We're going to talk about Chattanooga Tweet Up. I personally have never been to one. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I believe it's August 6th through the 8th at Burns Tobacco. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. This will be our 5th year doing Chattanooga Tweet Up. We're going to be different this year because that's kind of been our MO. Is every year we try to do something different. We try to be. We don't want to do the same thing year after year after year. We've been to minor league baseball games in the past. We've been on a boat cruise on the Tennessee River in the past. Last year we had a kickball tournament in which Clint Aaron broke a rib. We've had some interesting things going on, but this year we're working on it still. I don't have all the details, but we can talk a little bit about what we do have going on. But it will be different in almost every way, but the same in some important ways, and that's lots of sponsors, lots of cigars, lots of time to hang out with people from around the country, try new cigars, meet new people, both just regular Joes like you and me, sit around, have a smoke, people that make the cigars. There'll be a lot of people here.
Well, that sounds like a good time. Now, when do tickets go on sale, Dave? What are the ticket price and which location is it going to be at, just in case someone doesn't know?
Okay, we are the tickets will be on sale. We're shooting for May 1st.
Okay.
Hopefully we can get everything in place by then. We can, of course, get everything in place to have people call in and buy them here in the shop. That's not a problem. I'm trying to get an online component to our website so that I can have people buy them online. That is burnstobacconist.com. And I've got the new website up and running. I just don't have an online store yet. Tickets are going to be $75, same as last year. We're not doing a VIP level ticket this year. It's just going to be one $75 ticket for everyone. One thing that we just did put into place about 3 days ago, I talked with a couple people from the Cigar Rights of America, and we are working with them. Every single ticket sold this year is going to include a 1-year membership to the CRA.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, and a cigar from them as well. So, I mean, we're basically splitting the cost with them, and it's no extra charge for the people that are buying the tickets. You're going to get a membership for a year. So.
Wow, that's really huge. That's really nice of them to do that too. It just goes to show you, how important they are in our industry.
Absolutely, and we're thrilled to be able to do that to help out, because we want everyone involved in the get everyone down for the struggle. When it comes to trying to defend the rights of the cigar smokers here in America.
Right, I agree with you. Real quick in the chat room, Frankie asked a question. He said, "What days are the tweet up?" It's August 6th through the 8th. August 6th through the 8th.
Yeah, we will start on Thursday night. We usually start about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and what we do is we have a kickoff dinner on Thursday evening. One of our major sponsors will be sponsoring the dinner, and we just all kind of hang out. And then Friday we go all day long. Saturday we go all day long. From usually we start about 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday and Saturday. We're connected to a bar and a restaurant, same building. So we start off the morning with usually a breakfast bar and a Bloody Mary bar next door. Get you started right. I think Tom Person from Commonwealth Cedar Spills is going to be in town, and he wants to sponsor one of the Bloody Mary bar days. So basically, it's a buy a drink for everybody type of thing. He did that last year, and he had a lot of fun with it. So he said, "I want to do that again." And I'm like, "If you want to buy everyone a drink, I will not stop you." So, so yeah, he's going to be doing that. I'm not sure which day yet. We'll probably do that on Saturday morning. And then we just have different things that we're planning on doing throughout the day. We're working on getting a whiskey tasting of some sort. We try to do something different every year. Tennessee, we've come a long way from Jack Daniels. I mean, it used to be we were only known for Jack, and Jack's fine. But we've got about 15 or 20 really good distilleries in this state now, and we try to feature someone new and different every year. Last year we had Bell Mead Bourbon out of Nashville. Year before last we had Pritchard Distillery, which is down in a little wide spot in the road called Kelso down in South Tennessee. And they brought in some of their whiskey, and they also do rum. They're the only maker of rum in the state of Tennessee, at least legally. So,
well, guess who's trying to join us from the depths of hell? The hippie.
Hell.
Hey, hippie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hey, thanks for joining us today.
God damn, I'm telling you.
Well, hang tight. We'll get to you in a moment. All right. Dave, are you still there?
I got an error.
That's all right, hippie. Well, Dave, let's do this. We talked about when the date was, where you can get the tickets, how much the tickets are. Let's start from the beginning, because I personally want to know, how did this whole thing start? That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean, giving credit where credit's due, I'm not the one who came up with the idea of doing a tweet up. My understanding is that some of the guys started doing tweet up type stuff back in IPCPR show. Some of the bloggers would get together and do stuff 5 or 6 years ago, and then one year they said, "Hey, we're gonna do a thing in Atlanta." So that was the very first Atlanta tweet up at Buckhead Cigar. And I'm about 3 hours north of Atlanta where I live, and I said, I'm going to go down. So I went down to Atlanta, hung out with the other guys down there, and Jerry Cruz from Stogie Review. I sat there talking with him. He said, we should do one of these in Chattanooga sometime. I said, let's do it. So the next year, Jerry helped me out in the planning stages, and we had our first tweet up here. And that's been 4 years ago. And we're still doing it. We keep saying we get to the end of the planning stage, and the day before tweet up, and we're like, we're not doing this again next year. Screw it, we're not. This is just too much work. And then we do the event, and we have so much fun. And by the time the weekend's done, we're like, okay, can we do this again next week? Okay, well, no, we don't want to do it next week because it was too much work. But yeah, we'll do it again next year. So
nice. Awesome. Well, Mike, I know you don't have a video. Are you there with audio?
Can you see my video?
I can't see your video, but we can hear you.
I can see it.
You can see it? Okay, I can't see it, so I don't know if it'll come through the live feed.
And he does look like Wayne. It's Wayne's World.
Man, it's windy and chilly out here, I'll tell you.
Oh, there's your video. I got it now. You got anything you want to ask Dave? We just talked about how he got started with the tweet up. We got all the information on the tweet up. Anything you want to ask before I go forward?
Yeah, David, from the beginning when you first started with the manufacturers, have you found it easier for manufacturers to be interested to come onto it now, since you've been doing it for a couple of years?
Oh, absolutely. First year, we kind of threw out there to our regular manufacturers, well, this is what we're doing, and do you want to participate? And we had a few that said, no, I don't think so, and quite a few that said, yeah, that sounds like fun. And since then, because we make it really cheap for them to get involved, if a cigar company wants to be a sponsor, all they need to do is send us 50 cigars to put in the grab bags. Now, not everybody is going to get a cigar from every company, but that's part of the fun of it, is that you get a bag full of 10 or 15 cigars, and you have some that you're going to love and some that you're going to say, I don't know what this is, and some that you've never heard of before, or some that you don't like, and you get to mingle with other people and maybe trade cigars. You know, so, and that's part of the design of it, is to get people talking to each other. And so I've had manufacturers, usually what happens is during the last 2 weeks between the IPCPR show and the tweet up, we get inundated with phone calls from manufacturers I've never heard of in some cases, or smaller companies or new companies, that they come up and say, hey, we want to be part of it. What do we need to do? So I've got about 12 sponsors lined up right now, and I'll have probably double that number in a month, and then it'll hold steady until the week before tweet up, or 2 weeks before, and then I'll add another 20. So it gets a little crazy there in the last couple of weeks.
Wow. That's pretty good. That's a good thing. Dave, on the grab bags, let me ask you this. So not everybody will get the same cigar. The grab bags are just random? We come in, you
fairly random, yeah. What we do is we count up how many cigars we've got by the day that we need to put them together, and then we will divide them out into piles, so that everyone gets the same number. And then we just have about 6 people walk around a big group of tables putting cigars in bags, one from each pile. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to put them all together. And so you'll get our majority sponsors, which I'll tell you who they are. This year we have Terrazona, Dissident, Caldwell, and Miami Cigar and Company. Those are our platinum level sponsors. Everyone will get a cigar from those 4 companies. They're giving us 300 cigars, so everyone gets something. Everyone else, we have a lower number of cigars that they have to commit to. So, like I said, if we sell 200 tickets and we got 50 cigars from one of the other sponsors, not everyone gets one. And that's okay, because they're going to get different things. They're going to get to try something new. So.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it is. It makes it kind of, you don't know exactly what you're going to get, and you can just try something new. That's cool. Yeah,
and I'll tell you, one of the things that, like I said, that has made us really attractive to the smaller companies, new companies coming into the industry. They come in here and they can get immediate feedback on their cigars from consumers rather than just people at the show. They can get publicity on their and some buzz on their cigars from people that it matters, instead of trying to generate stuff on Twitter and on Facebook and things like that, which is often really hard to do. Now, I'll give you an example. I think it was 3 years ago. We had I got a call late in the game from Frank Herrera down in Miami. He said, hey, I've got a buddy who's just come out with a new cigar line, and he wants to be part of this. Can I bring him? And I said, absolutely, Frank. Let's do it. I had no idea who this guy was. He shows up, and his cigar ends up being the hit of our event, and that was Noel Rojas from Guayacán. He had been at the IPCPR show, apparently hidden in some dark corner, and gotten almost zero exposure during the show, and was really depressed about it. And then he came to the tweet up, and suddenly he's a star. And I was like, this is really cool. So
that's awesome.
I'm not saying we made him, but we were the first ones to give him real exposure.
Exactly, and it made a difference, obviously.
Yeah.
So, Well, let me ask you this, Dave. I got a question for you. What challenges have you found now that you've been doing this event for several years? Is it getting easier, or you find it's getting harder?
It's harder to find new things to do that are going to be interesting to everybody. We are doing a cornhole tournament this year. Give me 1 second here.
Yep, go ahead.
I got a question from Charlie. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
Atlantic.
I'm sorry?
The Mid-Atlantic.
Yes.
He's working. Look at that.
We've got about
He is
20.
working.
Yeah,
Gotta do
30
what we
ones
gotta
we have in the
do.
box.
Anybody in the chat room got questions you want to ask Dave, whether it's about the tweet up, whether it's about leaf enthusiasts, please feel free to ask. We will
I don't
do
know
our
where they
best to get to your questions
Sorry.
and keep the
Okay,
show rolling.
sorry.
So hang tight. Go ahead, Dave.
Sorry, we had a question about something we're supposed to have in stock here in the store, and I don't know. No one knows where they are.
Oh
So,
boy.
this happens occasionally. So, anyway, yeah, we're doing a cornhole tournament this year. I had never heard of cornhole.
Well, I have, but not in the sense you want to know.
No, well, yeah. When they first brought up cornhole tournament, I was like, I'm sorry, excuse me? Are we doing a deliverance reenactment or what, you know? But apparently, in other places, it's known as beanbag toss or tailgate or whatever else, you know. So it's basically a game that's more casual, and part of the fun of it is everyone else stands around getting drunk, heckling everybody. So it sounds perfect for us. So we're going to come up with some twists on the rules for ourselves. I'm not sure if we're going to do it outside or we might do it inside. Haven't decided that yet. We have to figure that all out. But we're going to have some custom boards made with our sponsors' logos on them, and then we're going to have fun. You know, I mean, that's the biggest thing. And as far as I mean, some of it gets easier. The last few years, I've been working another job, and I had a full-time job. I was working part-time here at the shop, and trying to do tweet up whenever I could find time. I work full-time for Burns now, so tweet up is part of my job. So, I mean, yeah, I'm still working on my days off. I'll be shooting out emails and taking phone calls and doing everything. But, you know, I can also do it while I'm here at work, like I'm doing today. So,
there you go. That works out perfect for everybody, including us.
Yeah.
So, well, let me ask you this, Dave. I got something for you. If for someone like myself, I mean, besides meeting everybody and getting to see people I haven't met before and enjoying cigar, for someone who's never been there, tell everybody who's never been there why you should go to this tweet up.
Well, it is. I mean, you've named almost every reason why, but it's a great deal. I mean, look, for $75, you're going to get 3 days of hanging out, smoking, having fun. You will get your money's worth just from the grab bag usually. And honestly speaking, if you get say 12 cigars in a grab bag, but you don't get 20 cigars free throughout the weekend, you're not trying very hard, because it's you know, we've got all these different vendors in here who are freely handing out extra sticks all the time, you know, and if you're not getting any, like I said, you're just not trying. And I've heard complaints a couple of times. People said, "Oh, well, I didn't get very much. It wasn't worth it." And it's like, dude, and all you got to do is sit down and hang out with someone like Fred Rui. You know, hang out with Clint Aaron, hang out with Matt Booth, you know, hang out with these guys, and you're gonna, you know, and we've got, besides the brand owners, we've got a lot of the reps that are in the house every year too. I mean, they're freely handing stuff out in addition to the stuff that they sent us to put in the bags. So you'll definitely get your money's worth there. You get to try new things. I think we already said that, though. I don't know. It's I've done a lot of the big cigar events through the years. I know I met the hippie at Cigar Fest 6 years ago. I think it was. Yes, we did.
That was wild.
And you know, look, I've been to Big Smoke. I've been to Cigar Fest. They're fun. you get your ticket book and you run around and you hold your bag open and you play trick or treat, and that's fun. But what we're trying to do is, instead of 2,000 or 3,000 of your closest friends, you've got a couple hundred people, 200 to 300 people. You're going to actually get to meet them and get to know them, hang out with them, talk to them. It's a more intimate type of thing, and it's just, you know, it's going to be more fun, in my opinion. I mean, I've done both, and this way is just you get more lasting impact with the people. You know, you're able to give feedback directly to manufacturers, saying, you know, I love what you did with such and such, and be able to get a reaction. Then you're not going to just talk cigars. You're going to. Last year, Eddie Terrazona was in here, and his son was making his starting debut as I think it was a starter. He might have been a backup, but he's a quarterback for the Phoenix, Arizona Cardinals. So, you know, we're all in here watching his son play football on the big screen, you know, and it's like, this was a joyous moment for Eddie, and all these people were able to share it with him. So it's not just about the cigars; it's about the relationships. So,
well,
and I like
sold
it.
Me, I'm sold.
Yeah, it's, you know, I like the smaller events, like I like it, David. You know, it's with getting just a few hundred people together, you actually have time where they can actually talk with the manufacturers. You know, they can sit there, smoke with them, eat with them, do, you know, and just have a blast. I think it's great for the smaller events to do like you have, you know, that tweet up. It's
absolutely.
Wonderful. Yeah. Now, I will ask, I know in years past you used to do things, I don't know if you went over this or not, but you did like I think you did the one ball field outing, or
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
We went to the baseball game. We have a minor league baseball team here in town, and we tried 2 years. First 2 years, we tried going to the baseball game as part of the tweet up, and the second year, we were trying to rent the entire outfield bleacher section so that they would allow us to smoke out there, and we didn't end up renting out the whole thing, and they seated us right next to the Chattanooga Children's Asthma Association. And then in the section where they were supposed to allow smoking, they said no smoking. And Barry Stein was in town that year, and he blew up Twitter, you know, doing @lookouts, blah blah blah. And they, to their credit, they got someone from their office down and fixed the problem within like 15 minutes. They fixed it. Everything was good. So that was, like I said, to their credit, they did fix it, but we were done at that point. We decided the next year we were not going to do the baseball game again, because there's too many uncertainties. And it is hard to find some place to go where you can smoke.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, last year we decided we were going to do the kickball tournament. You know, kickball, because we're all cigar smokers, none of us is in great shape, and you don't have to be in great shape to play kickball. The problem is, City of Chattanooga does not allow smoking in parks. So we ended up having to drive about 30 minutes away to another city, to a park where we could smoke. Well, we lost about 150 people doing that. You know, they decided to go somewhere, do something else. So it's hard. You know, you got to find some place that, you know, if you want to go off site, you got to find some place that allows smoking. You got to find something people want to do. For this year, we're going to try to keep things at the shops more than anything else. Last year, Burns East, where I am today, we underwent a ownership change. Mike Hunter is the owner of the shop as of the last June, and the people that were here for Tweet Up last year saw the remodel here, and it's wonderful. And then in February, Mike bought the downtown shop as well. So now Mike owns both shops, so we are going to try to incorporate the downtown shop into this year's Tweet Up as much as we can. We're going to try to do something down there besides to say, hey, if you want to go downtown, you know, good luck finding parking, and, you know, we're not really doing anything. We're going to try to actually incorporate them in this year instead. So
nice. Well, let me ask you this, Dave. When doing this tweet up, you've been doing it for a while now. What's the most fulfilling part of doing this tweet up for you personally?
You know, there's been a couple times where, you know, something besides, like, say, what I mentioned earlier, helping someone like Noel Rojas really get his brand some exposure. And we've had that same thing. I don't know if you know if you've had anything from King Cigars.
Yep.
They were with us 2 years ago. They had a good experience. They came back last year. We brought them into the shop, and they're a great brand for us now. They sell really well. Again, I'm not going to take credit for what they've done. They did a great job, but we helped them get some extra exposure, and it was really gratifying to do that. But then just being here, we get in the big room across the hall. We try to get everyone crammed in. About 4 times during the weekend, we do raffles and stuff. And I look around at this sea of faces through the haze of smoke, and everyone's having a great time. And it's just really awesome to see it. It's great to see people having a great time and be able to look at it and say, you know, I had a part in doing this. You know, it wasn't just me. I mean, you know, I do a lot of planning of it, but you know, I got these guys here in the shop. Number one, our owners, Mike now and Phil before, let us do this, and the management of the shop has been very supportive of everything. I've got people like Charlie who's working with me here today, and Jason who has worked here for a long time. And the other guys, and our part-time guys who will take off their other jobs for the weekend and come in and work for us full-time. I mean, they all put in a huge amount of work, and it's just great to see how happy everyone gets doing these events. So, of course, on the flip side, those of us that are working, you know, by the end of Saturday, we're just completely wasted. You know, we're practically laying on the floor, just like, okay, let it stop, you know, but it's great.
Nice.
Now, do you with this tweet up? Do you have deals with a hotel in the area that guys can book and actually smoke in the hotel?
Yeah, we have partnered every year, well, for like 4 years now. I'm in talks right now with Hampton Inn. They are 10 minutes away walking if you walk really slow, and some people do walk because they want to get drunk, and that way they don't have to worry about driving back. So Hampton Inn, we're supposed to be getting a rate of about $72 a night. They're nice rooms. I've stayed there every year myself because my house is about 40 minutes away, and by the time I'm here for 12 hours or 14 hours, I don't want to drive home, get 6 hours of sleep, and then drive another hour back. So I'll just stay in a hotel, and it's a great place. And because I'm staying there, I keep on wanting us to just go back there. So we should have the. I'm waiting on an email back from the guy from Hampton, but he should be getting us a code or something to use to be able to get that rate. So.
But now, now I'm actually out of Hampton right now, down in Chicotee, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not smoking a cigar because they don't allow smoking here, even on the balconies. You have to, like...
You should leave.
Yeah. There's a deck down there where they use, like, for boat docks. I think there's a Captain Din has a boat here that he takes out for tours and stuff. You have to go down to there in order to smoke.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. I mean...
Yeah, I think mostly that has to do with first state law. For instance, in California, where I used to live, you cannot smoke in a hotel. If you're a hotel chain, you cannot offer it. In Tennessee, it's up to the chain. Hampton Inn does allow smoking. In this state, I have on the block of rooms that I reserved, I basically asked them to do half and half smoking and non-smoking. I know for myself, when I get done for the day, I go back. I don't feel like smoking anymore. So I'm not worried about it, but I do know that some people might want to. So, so we've got, definitely there are some smoking rooms available.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see, Dave. We got, I don't know, about 20 minutes or so left. Is there anything that we missed about the tweet up? Because I also want to get into and talk a little bit about your other site you have going, Leaf Enthusiast. So is there anything we missed on the tweet up? Or is there anything, Hippie, that you want to ask that we missed before we just shift gears a little bit? I want to make sure we get the whole round for Dave while he's on for the hour.
All right.
No, I just, Dave, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask, is the website updated now?
What I've done this year, if you go to ChattanoogaTweetUp.com, it will redirect you to the Burns site. I'm putting all the Tweet Up stuff in a section of the Burns Tobacconist site. So you can go to BurnsTobacconist.com. All the information about our stores are there. I've got good maps to show you how to get there, contact information, and then in the menu bar, there's a Chattanooga Tweet Up item, and I'm adding stuff to it as I get more information. For our, I was going to say for our sponsors, as I mentioned before, our big platinum sponsors are Terrazona, Dissident, Caldwell, and Miami Cigar and Company. I've also got Commonwealth Cedar Spills, GTO Cigars, which is a small company based in Birmingham, CLE, Zycar, 262, Nomad, Drew Estate, and Crowned Heads. I see someone put asked about Crowned Heads. They're going to be part of it again. And then one other one, Jackson Cigars, which is another small company. They're based in Nashville. So we've got a good lineup so far, and I expect that, like I said, we'll be getting more. Usually I get, within the next month, I expect we'll have another 10 or more signed up for it. I think, to come to think of it, I know I've got our rep for AJ Fernandez is working on making sure that they're going to be a part of it. We have a lady who's our rep. Her name's Michelle, and she is going to try to do she's going to try to be one of the sponsors for a ladies cigar luncheon that we're going to do on either Friday or Saturday. So, trying to think of what else I needed to tell you, but I think that's all the sponsors for now. So,
wow, that's a great list.
Yeah.
All right.
I like doing the thing for the women too. That's a neat idea to have that.
Well, we've always had a good group of lady cigar smokers here in Chattanooga, and I know I get some ladies come into the shop who aren't cigar smokers, and they'll be like, "Well, do you have any cigars for women?" And mostly they're looking for, the Tatianas and things like that. They're looking for flavored stuff. But the ladies who are part of our lady cigar smokers club, I think it's called the Petite Coronas now. They smoke regular cigars. I had several of them out the other night at our downtown shop. We had Ariel from La Serena in town, and I had 4 or 5 ladies from the group come out and do and were part of the event. Last month, they had a ladies event with Stephanie Harris of Black Label Trading Company, and there were 8 or 9 of them there for that event. And they like regular sticks. I mean, these ladies will be smoking, Liga Privada T52s and whatever else that you would like to smoke, they're smoking too. So, so it's look, if they want to, if they're serious about it, as serious about it as we are, then why shouldn't we do something that is going to be of more interest to them? We're not, the guys aren't going to want to do quiche for lunch, So,
the hippie might.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. All right, sweet.
Hey, I'd get to go with all the pretty women.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Your hair's just
and your wife will be, really happy about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit, Dave, if we can, about your other site, leafenthusiast.com, where you have yourself, you have Keith, I believe John, Vern, and I found this ironic. Dave and I were talking in the pre-show before we went live here. They have a hippie over there too, and I thought I was the only one that had a hippie. So apparently, the crave now is to have a hippie on your site. That's the big thing now. So we all got
everybody wants a hippie.
It adds legitimacy. I mean, you got to have a cigar hippie if you want to succeed. At least that's what I was told. Yeah. It was about a year and a half ago. I kind of felt like with Tiki Bar Online, I felt like it was a try. We were kind of at the end of the usefulness. It wasn't growing anymore, and Tiki Bar just isn't something that screams cigars. So we decided to make a change, and we went through about a month and a half of throwing around ideas of what do we want to call ourselves, how do we want to do this, and I think it actually ended up being the hippie that suggested Leaf Enthusiast as a name, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So,
hippies always come up with the good stuff.
Suggestions.
So,
well, that's great.
So yeah, I write 2 or 3 pieces a week. Keith is on there once a week. John Siddle, who a lot of people may know from Twitter, is on there usually twice a month, I think. And the hippie is on there once a month. And the hippie is someone who had written for us before. And I said, do you want to still be part of this? And he says, yeah, but I want to go under a pen name this time. And I was like, okay, do what you want to do. So he's like, oh, I want to be the hippie. I want to be mysterious. And I'm like, okay. So I have not told anyone who he is. Some of the people out in, he lives in Nashville. He doesn't make that a secret. And a lot of people out there would know him. But a great guy. He just came in the shop here a couple of weeks ago. He and his wife were in Atlanta, and they're heading back to Nashville, and he stopped in, and he picked up, I can't review this cigar because I work here, but I gave him some so that he could review them. I'll let you see what I got here. This is a Cien Años Lancero from La Aurora, but it is the Burns Tobacconist version, which has a Cameroon wrapper instead of the regular Corojo wrapper that they use on the regular Cien Años. We're the only, we are the only store in the world that has these. So I gave him a couple. He put up the review of it Friday, I think it was. Or maybe it was last week. I don't remember now. But anyway, so and yes, that was a little product placement pitch there.
That's okay.
Information's on the BurnsTobacconist.com. And but yeah, I didn't feel right about reviewing this one myself, so I made sure he got some so that he could review it. But yeah, we're going strong. It's a challenge to keep up with everything. I thought it would be less challenging now that I'm working at Burns full time, but I found out it's actually a little more challenging because the way I like to review is the cigar I review is my first cigar of the day. The problem is when I work, I smoke on the way into work, and then when I'm at work, I can't really review a cigar because I'm busy dealing with customers. I'm busy doing other things. My cigar goes out 3 or 4 times a lot of times when I'm trying to work. I'm not going to review a cigar based on that. That would just be stupid. So I've got Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday when I can review cigars legitimately. And if I want to do something other than that, I've actually done a couple times where I've reviewed a cigar while I'm driving to work. I will record stuff into my phone and then write it down later on. And maybe, who knows, one of these days maybe I'll set up the phone and videotape myself, driving down the road. I can be like Christine Morgan, except with less cleavage. So,
Yeah.
Did I just say that?
Did he just say cleavage?
Yeah. Now you brought up about the Cien Años. Give us the price. Come on.
Price is $11.99 a stick. They are in boxes of 20 or 25. I don't remember which. And it's a great cigar. I smoked them when they first showed up, and I liked it. But I was like, yeah, give it a few weeks. And this is actually the first time I've smoked it since we got it, and it really is great. With the Cameroon, it's got a good amount of spice to it. And I'm really enjoying it. When it first came in, I was like, well, I think I like the regular one better. But now I'd have to give the edge to this one. After it's sat here and mellowed for a couple of weeks in the humidor, I think I like this one better. So.
Well, if you guys are going to the tweet up, buy one, try it, buy a few.
Buy a box. We got a few of them.
There you go. Well, Dave, over on your website, Leaf Enthusiast, you guys just do all written reviews, correct?
Correct. Thought about doing videos, but I just can't see how any of our videos could be as interesting as Mike Forey on Stogie reviews. So. I figure, if we can't get there, why try? So.
Hey, Mike, you sending him the money now?
Yep. It is on the way. No. See, only your hippie can do video reviews. See, that's
and he's anonymous, so that makes it a trouble. We'd have to have the light behind him and a voice thing to make him sound weird.
Be like one of those police.
He could wear a David Jones mask.
Oh dear God! Make it stop.
Oh. Let's see. What else do we got here, Hippie?
Okay, turn my mic off. I'm sorry. I was asking a question and I forgot to turn my mic back on. David, how was it? I know myself, I still go to Tiki Bar a lot when I go to look for your site. It's just like a habit for me over the years that I just went there. Do you still find a lot of people hitting that website?
I think I don't even get a site report from that very often anymore, but I think we may get 150 or 200 a week that it's still hitting that. I've got. The plan was that by now I wanted to have it redirect, but the thing is I haven't had time to get all of the old reviews up on the new site. It's a really time-intensive thing. I got a plugin that was supposed to pull all of the Blogger stuff over to WordPress. However, it didn't do formatting very well, and it also left all the photos living on the Google owned stuff. So basically it would be linking to everything elsewhere instead of living on my own site. So whenever I pull an old review over, I have to pull the pictures off and then re-upload them and then make sure the format's right and then hit go live with it. So it's time consuming and I just haven't had time to get back to it.
Good old
I'm leaving the old site up there for now just so we have the old reviews. So.
Yep, that's good old WordPress for you.
Well, yeah.
So, Dave, I want to ask you this. I know when I used to review over at Mike Stogie's, how long does it take you realistically to do a review? I mean, I always find it fascinating that a lot of people who come to review sites to watch, you really don't know how much detail it takes and how many days it takes to do a review. Now, I did video, so it's probably different, but you do written reviews. But still, from start to finish, how many days realistically does it take you to do a review?
It depends on the cigars. I mean, sometimes I'm reviewing a single stick, and I will sit down and I will do research. I will start writing, and it takes me about half an hour, 45 minutes of research and introductory writing before I go outside, sit down there, and and then I got to take photos, do all the pictures, and then go outside and sit down and actually start smoking it and recording what I think of it. So I mean, for an hour-long smoke, I'm spending an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then with a lot of cigars, if I decide that I like to review stuff that I like. Obviously, I mean, I think everybody does more or less. So what I'll end up doing is I'll go in the humidor here at work and I'll say, okay, what's new or what haven't I smoked? And I'll pick up 3 or 4 cigars and smoke them, and then decide, okay, I want to do reviews of this and this and this, and then I'll pick up extra sticks, you know. And so it may be a week or 2 later before I get to them. So there's definitely a time component involved. I may not be spending as much time. I don't take notes on every single sample that I do, but I try not to make it to where the first time I smoke it and the time I smoke it for review is so long that I don't remember what I smoked, you know. So if I say, you know, every sample of this I had great construction, or one sample had a draw problem or something like that, you know, I can remember. but I know some people take notes on every single one, and it's like, wow, that would be a really time consuming.
It was a lot. I know when I was doing video, I mean, you're talking the minimum I'd smoke 3 cigars, and then you got video editing, picture editing. You got
the videos.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, you're talking 3 to 5 days, depending on it.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I've done a couple of videos of other things. I did a tour of Corsair Distillery in Nashville last year, and the video shoot for that was about 2 hours. And then I took it home and dumped it all on the computer, and I think I spent 3 or 4 days, you know, in between times doing other stuff, coming back and working on the editing and trying to get it all taken care of and presentable, you know, and the end result was good. If I had more time, it would have been great, but it just takes a long time to do. So.
Yes, it does. Yeah. It's amazing. People just don't realize that a lot, like Mike said. And the other thing, like you said there, you brought up a good thing. You know, you bought the sticks, you tried the sticks, then you bought more sticks to review. People don't understand the cost involved for reviewers either. It's like, you know, we're trying the stuff for them. So, you know, if they think they're going to hit per your review. And that's, I get that. Oh, you get all this free stuff, you know. It's like, oh yeah, I get free stuff all the time. Look at all these boxes.
Yeah, no, I get some free samples. I won't lie, I do get some samples, but you know, in the last month, I got some samples of the Punch Signature from General. Good cigar, by the way. I got some samples yesterday from United Cigar up where Barry Stein is working now with 2 guys, and I think that may be it. I mean, you know, and yeah, I'm putting them on review because they sent them to me. I will review them, but you know, I don't show up every day and, you know, hey, more cigars in the mail, cool, you know. Do I wish that would happen? Well, sure, but
hell yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, yeah, that would be great.
And I get a little bit more now that I work here in the shop. You know, the reps come in and they drop off samples, and I'll use those samples for determining whether I want to, you know, do a review or whether we want to bring them in the shop or whatever else. You know, so I'm making them perform double duty now. But it's you know, and to be honest, I do get a good employee discount working here, so that has helped me to afford the cigars for the reviews a lot better. But there's still a cost involved. I mean, it's absolutely, you know, and when I review, I know some people do not factor in the price, but I do, and I smoke it. If it's a $12 cigar, I got the employee discount. I still rate it on, you know, whether I would pay $12 for this cigar. You know,
right.
So, and I think that's only fair.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, definitely agree. Yeah, because that's what most people would be able to buy it for, is that $12. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, it's about that witching hour, Mike, where we have to kill poor David.
All right.
So, Dave, is there anything that we missed or anything that we didn't go over, whether it's Tweet Up, whether it's Leaf Enthusiasts, anything you want to mention or tell the people before we end the broadcast here and we give you your final question, which unfortunately we're going to have to kill you.
Well, if keep on checking out our website, burnstobacconist.com. All the Tweet Up information will be there. Please keep reading Leaf Enthusiast. If you haven't read it already, please head on over to leafenthusiast.com and check out our reviews. We get pretty detailed and try to give you an honest appraisal of what we smoke. I hope you can come to the Tweet Up because it's always a lot of fun, even if we don't know exactly what we're going to do. It's always fun, and we just love having a lot of people here. So there's going to be 300 tickets maximum. We're going to try to put them on sale on May 1st. If they sell out on May 2nd, that's it. I mean, there's no more room. So, try to get it on the first day.
There you go. Otherwise, you're shit out of luck.
Maybe.
All right, Hippie, you want to kill David off?
Oh my God, yes I do.
Uh-oh.
David, we are going to kill you and we're going to let the hippie take over your show. Now, you are on your deathbed. What is the last cigar and what size would you smoke?
Last cigar and what size?
And right after you're gone. That's it.
Wow. Padron 80th anniversary Maduro. They only make one size of that one.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. All right, well, David, listen, we want to thank you so much, man, for taking the time out today to hang out with us. Thanks for informing myself as well as everybody else about the Tweet Up and everything else. And it's been a pleasure having you on, and we hope to have you on again.
Thank you very much.
Oh, the pleasure.
Yeah, great talking to you again, man.
Good to see you, Mike.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, David.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That was David Jones from Leaf Enthusiast from Burns Tobacco and from the Chattanooga Tweet Up joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the show. I know I did. It was very good. And I'm glad the hippie got to finally get in and tune in with us, so it was good to get the hippie on. Thanks to everybody in the chat room for tuning in, taking time out of your Saturday. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at stogie411, at Hogman21, at NightRid. Follow us on Facebook at stogie411. And also, I don't know where the hell, subscribe to our live feed and whatever the hell else you want to subscribe to. What do you got to say there, Hippie?
No, just wanted to show everybody, I don't know if you've seen through the water out there.
It just went black.
I don't know if there's anything out there, I can't even tell.
There you go.
Look at that.
Now I can see you.
Look at that.
Look at that. You suck. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. We'll see you all soon. Thanks, guys.